So this is a 99 Jag XJR that I'm replacing the head gaskets on for the second time. Anyway, it's kind of a who cares video. But I've already got everything taken off the front and everything, as you can see, to remove the heads. So you gotta take the, all the front off, then the timing cover and all that shit, whole top of the motor. You gotta take the wheel off to get in there and take off the exhaust manifold bolts. Timing covers, it's a bunch of 8mm bolts, all the other stuff. But anyway, I just broke this head loose. And let's pray that we don't have any cylinder problems. I'm talking to this video.
It's weird.
Well, it is what it is, but so where am I going to put this camera? Let's put it right here.
Stored in another container had gone bad, so that's why I got those containers.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
So. And they say flour and sugar.
Yep. That's really convenient, huh? That's convenient for you. This is just a, there we go. All right. So the last time I did this, or had it done, it was $3 grand. And I'm always screwed with cars through my life, but I just kind of was intimidated by it. But it's not that bad. On the bright side, it's holding water in there. It ain't seeping into the crankcase. So I guess my rings are good. This thing's been sitting for months too. These nickel seal cylinders are kind of what I'm worried about. There's barely any lip there. I mean, basically nothing. But the weather here sucks. Been raining. It's what it does in the south, at least where I live in South Carolina. It might snow once every other year for a little while, and then it goes away the next day or two. But mostly you just get rain. And it's been raining for about 2 weeks. It'll probably rain tomorrow. And it gets cold and it's just right above freezing and it sucks. So I'm gonna dry these cylinders out and check them out. Just got a little, I put block sealer in it, so there's some of that in there. But I flushed the motor out. It was actually running and the block sealer wouldn't do it. What I did was I put some lines on backwards. I changed all my coolant lines and did some work to it. and crossed two of them up, and it was pouring out as quick as it was going in. After about 2 hours of driving, it was like, what the hell's going on? It keeps losing water. And come to find out, it was that catch can right there. Those two lines right there had them reversed. One's overflow, one goes from the radiator, and I had them reversed, so it was going straight out on the ground after it got hot enough. And I didn't know, and it cost me a head gasket. So, but the head, I got it off here. There's the chains. Yeah, I know, I got the locking kit, put it back together, and you don't have to put that on until you get it ready to go back together, because it goes on these flats here, and there's a pin that goes in the bell housing I've already checked out, so it doesn't make any difference taking it apart, as long as you don't roll it over, which you can't. But the head looks good, unless I don't see any cracks anywhere. It's actually not all that bad. I'll probably get it milled down 5/1000ths or something, just to make sure it's still flat. One thing about these motors, they will blow the head gaskets. If they get hot and you run them too long, it will blow them. This is my second trip on them. It was still running, but I couldn't get it to seal, so there we go. I got a light over here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I had a light. I was going to shine it in there. I just went ahead and got all the new components for the timing. I got a whole kit of that, whole everything. So it's pretty much going to be almost a new motor, except for the bearings. But that nickel seal doesn't look bad. I think that's what they call it, Nickel seal, something like that. It's not scored. Shiny. Probably take some Scotch-Brite. I'm gonna spray some WD-40. I don't see anything in there wrong. It's really not hard. It's just time consuming. A lot of little bolts and brackets. You put that head clamp kit on it on this flats, and then on the bell housing on there, on the bottom of the motor, there's a pin that goes in there. I've already looked that up. I got all new. See, the dickhead that did these before, I knew the guy, sorta. I knew him from a poker game I used to go to. And I happened to go by a shop one day and didn't know it was his. And anyway, make a long story short, he agreed to do it. And you know, first he told me, "Oh, your motor's seized. I can't unseize it. I can change it over to a Chevrolet for $5,000." I was like, "Screw that. The car ain't worth that." Oh, and then he calls me back a day later. "Hey, we saved your motor. La di da di da. We did this, we did that, and got it freed up." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." So anyway, when he's doing the motor, he says I changed all new tubes, all new tensioners, etc., etc. I took your oil pan off, we changed your bearings out. Well, the first thing I saw when I got the car back and went to change oil, there wasn't a handprint on the oil pan anywhere. So I'm like, the fucker lied. But whatever, I got my car back. Well, do these look new to you guys? They look factory to me. There's still that plastic stuff. I think that's the original Jag number. I mean, they don't look new to me, and then they're not cracked up. You could have got factory parts, but I don't know. This thing's got 140 something thousand on it, and I would have expected these to be cracked, but I guess maybe he changed them. I don't know. I got new ones anyway. New change, new everything. I'm gonna clean those up. Scotch-Brite all that dark off of those, polish them up, you know, by hand. That head looks good. I don't see why the other one would be bad. I don't see any reason why that other head would be cracked or anything. This one looks fine. I can't, just from visual. I did have a tick on the valves, but I think it was somebody was on one of the blogs was, or the whatever vlog whatever, was saying that it could be your tensioners. And I know one of these, I think it might have been this side, was pretty loose. So I'm thinking, well, maybe it's not the lash caps. Maybe it's just those. Here's the cover. Just a bunch of screws holding that in. It just pops right off after you get all the screws out. I think the kit comes with a new one of those. Probably get that blasted. I put a 25 horsepower underdrive pulley on the supercharger when I did the hoses and everything before I blew my damn head gaskets again. I think I'm gonna paint my valve covers, maybe paint them red, I don't know. Thinking about painting the car black, just silver. I got bought these rims for it right before I fixed it, or right after I fixed it. And the car's in real good shape. It was running really good. The transmission's still good. I'm just going to put a new conductor plate in it and new solenoids because it was kind of shifting funny. It was still tight, still strong. It just shifted a little funny every now and then. It'd kind of wind up a little bit before it'd shift or something. And they say the conductor plate goes bad. So I got that. I got the head gasket kit. And I got to get a new part load breather. These are the two tubes I had crossed. I had this one reversed, and it was going straight out of the overflow, which is under there. And I couldn't figure out what the world was going on until I looked at a picture of the motor online. I was like, oh shit, I got those backwards. My fault. But anyway, all the hoses I changed. They had a leak over here, couldn't figure out, and I just changed it all. Changed a new, put this new catch can on there. That's just where it was leaking, blowing out. But all the new tubes, they're high. They're like $60, $70 a piece just for these PVC tubes. That part load breather tube that goes under the intake, when it got hot, it melted it. It was a new one. Here's one of the, I think this is one of the new ones. That part load breather, it goes from the behind the throttle body under the intake under here, and then goes up the front and then comes over to the valve cover gasket. And that thing there will screw up your your cruise control. If it's sucking air, which it will, because if it gets, it'll get brittle like PVC does, and your overdrive, you'll be riding down the road and then your motor will just stall. It'll kind of just start bogging down. You pull over, turn the car off, and start it back up, and it's like nothing ever happened. And it's that damn part load breather which goes through your throttle body to your valve cover. Either that little hole in the valve cover will get stopped up, or that breather will have a crack in it. And I changed that, and then when the motor got hot, when I ran it hot, it melted. So I got to get a new one of those. So all those tubes, all my hoses and all that were changed, and now do this. But at least I got it torn down now. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.